Annika, could you please tell us, is energy efficiency highlighted in Commission's package as a first priority right now?
Yes, so the Commission has come up with an enormous energy package at the end of November, and energy efficiency is highlighted as the first fuel, as the number one priority, which is a very good development. It is clearly a signal for all stakeholders that energy efficiency needs to be taken seriously.
How circular economy and energy union are connected, if at all?
There are linkages, however, they are still, I would say, under development, and to understand how these interlinkages are being built are still being assessed. But two good examples where these do link. One is on waste to energy, a proposal where products, materials are turned into energy, and there are strong linkages with to what extent are we encouraging smarter use of resources, and at what point does a material turn into a waste, and at what point should that be then turned into energy. Another interesting aspect to be looked at is eco-design. It's one of very important tools for the EU to encourage, in the past it has been used to encourage better energy efficiency in products. However, now there is an additional dimension added to it, which is that in addition to looking at energy efficiency of products, we should be looking at durability, repairability, upgradability, recyclability of products. And here we have this interlinkage between energy efficiency, and then together with this kind of a smarter use of resources. And this remains a big question mark on where will eco-design go as a tool, and how can we find a balance between all these different dimensions. Because clearly, for example, increasing durability of a product will not necessarily increase its energy efficiency. Let's take, for example, a washing machine. If a washing machine lasts for 20 years, you know that if you have bought a washing machine 20 years ago, it is not as energy efficient as it would be if you bought it today. So how do we ensure that with increasing smarter use of our resources, durability, recyclability, etc., we find a good balance also with promoting energy efficiency.
What energy policies will come into force as a result of 2016 and as a result of energy package?
Now, as a result of this package, the process is such that we will be expecting big discussions, big debates in the Parliament as well as in the European Council with the Member States, looking at the directives, the proposals themselves, looking at the targets. Good example is the energy efficiency target, which the Commission has now proposed that should be increased from 27 to 30%. And this will most probably raise quite a bit of discussion, and there will be voices in the Parliament who will want to see a higher, or would like to see a higher target, up to 40%, and there are member states, some member states that will be very critical and will be saying that 30% is too high, and they would like to stick to the 27% that they have themselves accepted. So we will be expecting a lot of discussion with the other institutions on the proposal that the Commission has put on the table.
Electricity market in EU. Should energy efficiency and demand response be more carefully considered when developing electricity market in Europe?
Yes, this is something we recognizing that renewables and the share of renewables is increasing in power generation. We should be looking much more carefully at how our electricity market is designed and how we collaborate more across borders. And this is something, it is incorporated in the Commission's package, and there is an initiative on a new electricity market design. Now, one of the challenges related to this is that with the current setup, the energy market, how we are developing it, it has led to the creation of what is called capacity mechanisms, where member states, a number of member states, are looking into supporting conventional power, fossil fuel generated power, to support the increase of share of renewables in their power generation. And basically, this is often being criticized as being state aid for fossil fuel generation and leading to great risk of increasing emissions, etc. So now, how does the energy efficiency come into play? It could be argued that if ever member states are looking into using these capacity mechanisms and looking into supporting their own power generation or looking into ensuring security of supply within the member states, the number one thing that they should be looking into is, first of all, if the consideration is security of supply, and they should be looking into, okay, how can they increase energy efficiency, how can they increase demand response, how can they encourage, be it citizens, be it industry, to switch off electricity at times when there's not enough electricity available on the grid. But then also look into much more collaboration across borders. There is electricity generated always in the neighboring countries. Could there be much more cooperation between member states in ensuring that this electricity flows across borders and the interconnectors are in place, etc. And this is not happening to a sufficient extent at the moment. So rather than having this smarter approach, looking at international cooperation, looking at demand response, energy efficiency as the first, we are seeing a risk that a lot of member states are just seeing as a solution to support and provide subsidies for conventional power generation. And this is very costly, and it's not a smart way to go about this.